How's it going, gamers, and welcome back to episode 5 of From the Outside. Today, since it's the 5th episode and I've decided that's a special number, we're going to do something of a special episode. We're going to look at 2 different pages. That's right, 2. Today we're going to start with r/jumpchain, which was suggested by Melon C. Dianci. I definitely pronounced that right. And we're going to look at r/cornbadwheatgoood. Nobody asked for this, nobody suggested this. I just sort of randomly stumbled across it, saw the first couple of posts and was like, yep, I need to do a video on this. Once again, if you have a small subreddit or other internet page, it doesn't need to be Reddit, that you would like me to go explore from the outside, leave it in a comment below. You don't need to be subscribed to do that, but I'd really prefer if you were. Alright, without further shenaniganry, let's get into it. So r/jumpchain is a lot like my second episode's r/conlang circle jerk, in which I didn't even know what the subreddit was about in any capacity. For example, like the last couple episodes, vexillology and world building. I know a little bit about what those two things are, I just don't know much about the community. But jumpchain, much like conlangs, I just don't know, I don't even know what it is. I have no idea what this is. So let's try to figure what we can. When a jumper tries to blend in with other humans. Wonder where the anime protagonist is. Anime protagonist. True, this is some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure vibes. Who is this? He actually looks badass. A Japanese homeless person. Okay, wait, anime profile picture? Check. Watching, as in watching anime? Check. I think this person's a certified weeb, TBH. So I have some info from this title, I guess. Jumpers are people who end up being in settings that they don't necessarily look like they belong in, maybe? That's a lot of information from just the first post. Might be wrong. Let's keep looking. Your average jumper on their third jump. I remember this. This is from an episode of The Mandalorian. There was like Jeans guy in the background. It was definitely like a mistake on editing or something, and I think they removed it, unfortunately, because I think it made the episode better. I'm still not really sure what a jumper is, but again, this sort of adds to the theory that it's sort of just someone who looks like they don't belong in that setting, either through like what they're wearing or maybe some other characteristic. Hard to swallow pills. Jumpchain's just creating an OP Mary Sue OC with extra steps. That's a mouthful. Okay, so is a jumpchain the same thing as a jumper from before or not? That's something I need to figure out. It looks like maybe it's some sort of original character, assuming that's what OC means here. I guess it could mean something else, but I'm gonna assume it means original character. So that's good. That gives us a lot of extra information, I think. When jumpers are too strong for their current setting, Norwegian bodybuilders live in a tiny village to make themselves look even bigger. Okay, so this is pretty much confirms the theory that jumpers are people that look like they probably shouldn't be in the setting that they are. That seems to fit with most of what we know so far, but we still have a few unanswered questions, so let's lay those out. If I can answer these questions, I would consider this expedition a success. Question 1. Are the location these jumpers go to established canon in like fictional universes, or are they sort of original creations? For example, can a jumper sort of exist in Star Wars like the post we saw earlier, or do jumpers have to be in like originally created universes? Or can they be both? Question 2. What differentiates a jumper from just some other random self-insert, if there is even a difference? Question 3. If it is sort of a random self-insert, is this community bound by any sort of like rule set for what makes a jumper? And is there some sort of multiplayer aspect to it? Or does everybody just sort of go on and do a single player sort of jumper experience and then sort of talk about shared experiences about doing jumper things in this community? If I can answer those questions, I'll be very happy with this expedition. Now we've got some questions, let's go find some answers. My friend, hey, how's your jump chain coming along? You do anything crazy? Me, well, okay, so we got Lego Star Wars, we got Mario Kart, we got Fortnite, we got Minecraft, we got Overwatch, we got RuneScape, we got Mario 64. And is this supposed to be like Smash Bros too? Yeah, okay, this is a lot of video games. It sort of confirms the theory that jumpers can exist in pre-established universes, or maybe multiple pre-established universes. I'm not really sure. As a side note, completely unrelated to this jumper stuff, I would absolutely play this game. Studying. Thinking about how cool I'd be in some fictional universe. Okay, so wait, it says how cool I'd be in some fictional universe. So does a jumper have to be you, like an actual self-insert, like writing myself into Star Wars canon, for example? Is that sort of what this is implying? At the very least, it can be you by the looks of this post. Maybe it doesn't have to be, but at least it can be. I wonder if we'll get more answers in the comments. So none of these comments were too helpful, just a lot of people confirming that this does seem to be a shared experience within the community. But one comment that I noticed, it mentions that it's sort of like D&D, I guess. That would imply that there's some sort of shared rule set between members of the community, because, for example, on a D&D subreddit or forum, it may have lots of independent posts about completely different settings and completely different characters, because of course people have different D&D parties, but they still sort of share the same rule set that D&D does. Maybe this is similar to that. And if it is like D&D, maybe there's also some sort of multiplayer aspect, like you get together with a group of friends and do sort of jump chain related stuff. That just brings me more confusion, if I'm honest. Let's keep going. NPC gave me a quest. What, you managed to do that all by yourself? The literal army of companions behind me. Okay. So, at first glance, I thought this post sort of confirmed some sort of multiplayer element to the game, but thinking about it a little bit more, the use of the word companion suggests that maybe they're just like NPC other players and not like actual people playing those characters. Dang, this is complicated. I have so many questions. Okay, so I scrolled down a little bit more and I saw some posts about like jump PDFs and stuff. So I'm thinking that they're like a setting based on a fictional world built by a user that others can sort of like roleplay a jumper character in. Maybe being a jumper means like jumping between like realities or something like that. I'm not really sure how that works. Like if your character can maybe be in like Star Wars one day and then, I don't know, SCP the next day and then Star Trek the day after that. I don't really know, but it seems like maybe that's the case. Again, I don't really know if there's like a centralized rule section or if you just sort of, it really is just a lot of theater of the mind going on. That's possible. But I think we will move on to the next community with a quick summary of what we learned. From my understanding, class, Jumpchain is a community of people who are interested in writing original characters that exist in fictional universes. The characters that they write might be based on themselves. I think it seems pretty likely that that's the case. The instructions for these universes look like they might be laid out in PDFs by other players. I haven't opened any of these PDFs. Maybe that would give me more information, but again, I'm going to try to keep it surface level for now. I might be interested in coming back later and doing a bit more reading, but I will leave that right now as homework for curious students. I think it's fair to say that we had some success in exploring this community from the outside. Moving on to our next community, r/cornbadwheatgoood. People with celiacs are absolutely seething right now. So before we even look at a single post, I think both the name and the sidebar, corn is the worst crop and wheat is the best, really sort of betray the meaning of the entire subreddit. I love a subreddit that knows exactly what it's about. Let's just go through and try to learn more about the culture rather than what it's explicitly about, which is I think probably pretty obvious. Ever heard of high fructose wheat syrup? Well, I haven't actually. Well, case closed, apparently. This subreddit actually makes a really good point. I think I'm pretty much convinced after just one post, but let's keep looking to see if we can figure out why these people are so opposed to corn and so in favor of wheat. I hope this is none of you, your FBI agent when they see you looking at pictures of corn. You sick bastard. This meme feels like it would make more sense on any page on the internet other than this one, because it seems like everyone here has already sort of renounced corn and all of its apparent evils. Wheat and trebuchets, corn and catapults. I've never actually seen this format before, but I think it's probably pretty applicable to a lot of things. It's just sort of a rehash of like the soy jack and the Chad face, like thing I don't like and thing I like. I think that's really cool. I wonder how this subreddit feels about crops that are neither corn nor wheat. Like, to be a member of this community, do you need to think that wheat is the best crop and corn is the worst crop? Or merely on the spectrum of crops, wheat lies above corn? I'm curious about that. If any members of this community want to let me know, then please, I'm very interested. When someone offers you corn. No. Good meme. Very good meme. Thank you. Me, so what's your favorite crop? Her, I like corn a lot. Me. This happens to me all the time. I'm like out on a date or whatever because... Look at me. And they always start just talking about corn. I usually make up an excuse or like fake a phone call with a friend to get out of that situation as fast as possible. You always have to have a getaway plan from potential corn lovers. Capitalist pigs eat corn. Only true communists eat wheat. Wheat is the grain of the proletariat. Is this loss? Okay, so I'm not really sure why there are 3 O's in the URL for cornbadwheatgoood. I don't really know why that is, but I think I get the gist of the community. Not a lot of hidden lore here, unless of course it's so hidden that I missed it. That does it for today's episode of From the Outside. We learned so much today by going through 2 different communities. If you want me to go to your community next, please leave a link to it in the description. It doesn't need to be a subreddit, but it's okay if it is. And who knows? Maybe yours will be next. It's actually really funny that I looked at r/jumpchain, a page that I think is about original characters today. I've actually been working on an original character recently. He's exactly like you. Yes, you. He's exactly like you in every way, except he's subscribed to my YouTube channel. Later.